off our website. One of the first steps that we'll ask you to do as someone that's interested in our services, we would encourage you to complete what we use as our main job link. That's the very first step that we work with customers and employers to get you registered on that main job link. The job link is our website that houses, it's kind of our gateway, so to speak, for applications for all of our programs and services that we can offer you. We encourage employers to post their jobs on job links so that you can find those positions. And on the flip side, we encourage the employers to look for their employees through Maine Job Link. When you work with a Career Center counselor, you're going to have that one-on-one or really kind of intimate conversation about what your skill set is. What is it that you want to do? We want you to not just find a job, we want to make a career for you. We're going to ask, your demographics, some of your background, really evaluate what is going to be best for you in your employment to be successful. Some people, we just need work, of course, but we want to get the best fit for you as a job seeker. Also, employers, we want you as an employer to find the best fit for your company. We're going to, when we're developing our organic relationship with you as a job seeker or as a customer, we're going to also recommend any other referrals that might benefit you and be available to you with through the process and through this apprenticeship flow. Apprenticeship is a tremendous opportunity that we would recommend for our customers. When all details are in place, you can expect the employer to reach out to you and hopefully get that hiring interview. Our career centers and partner agencies continually to support career development through workshops and follow-up discussions. So again, I will provide our resources for our contact emails and telephone numbers in the chat so that you have that most updated information, but we welcome any and all customers and employers to reach out to us so that we can support you all in your journey for employment and success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you for that explanation about the program and BES and what you're doing as far as apprenticeship. I now would like to introduce Eileen Mazga from the Maine Apprenticeship Program. She's going to talk further about what her program offers and what they do for individuals. Eileen. Eileen, I think you're still on mute.
Thank you. So my name is Eileen and I work for the Registered Maine Apprenticeship Program at the Maine Department of Labor. And I'd like to thank you for joining us today. A little bit of background on our team. There's 5 of us and we work statewide. We work with all size employers and our basic mission is to work with employers to register them as sponsors of apprenticeship. It takes several partners working in collaboration to make this opportunity possible, including the Registered Maine Apprenticeship Program, voc rehab counselors, clients, and regional navigators. But the most important is the employer sponsor. And today we're highlighting Paradigm. So just a quick basic view of how we work together. The Maine Apprenticeship Program starts by registering the employer as a sponsor, and we work with them very closely to develop their schedule of work. Voc Rehab works to educate their clients on what an apprenticeship is, determine career goals, and prepare the apprenticeship passport. The regional navigators are the connectors. They connect to Maine Apprenticeship, the employer sponsor, and vocational rehabilitation. And finally, and most important, is the employer. Apprenticeship is employment. The employer hires the client, sometimes directly into an apprenticeship position and sometimes as an entry-level worker with the plan to advance them if they're a good fit. So first and foremost, apprenticeship is employment. It's an earn while you learn opportunity. You're earning a paycheck right from day one. It is a formal training program that identifies the skills and the tasks the apprentice needs to learn and the educational training they need to advance in their career. It includes wage progression, which means wages increase as the skill level increases and the value to the employer increases. Apprenticeship builds on the employer-employee relationship and increases loyalty, increases safety, improves retention. And when the training is completed, the apprentice earns a nationally recognized credential. So an apprentice is an employee who is selected and registered by the employer and who is learning a job from a skilled employee. Applying for an apprenticeship is the same as applying for a job. Employer sponsors are seeking individuals who are committed to learning skills, and any person that the employer sponsor wants to train can become an apprentice. This is an employer-driven program, so you still have to meet all of the hiring criteria, prove yourself a solid candidate, and the employer is the one who decides to advance you into the registered apprenticeship program. Apprentices are expected to work their agreed schedule, master the tasks outlined in their schedule of work, complete required courses with a grade C or better, and then most of all, apply the knowledge that they've learned. To help you decide if apprenticeship is a good fit, you could ask yourself the following questions. Do I prefer to learn by doing? Sitting in a college classroom is not the only way to learn. There are many people who are hands-on learners. Do you want to go to work and immediately begin to receive a paycheck? It's an earn while you learn program. You are an employee right from day one, and you are paid right from day one of your apprenticeship. Does the idea of little to no student debt sound appealing? Many employers provide access to education at no cost to the apprentice. And if any of these situations apply to you, then maybe apprenticeship will be a good fit. The most important thing to remember is that apprentices do a real job in a real workplace, and they have real responsibilities. So if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A. And thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Eileen, for that introduction to the apprenticeship program. It's one of the fabulous options that we have. And when we're talking about apprenticeship, we're really talking about that tremendously beneficial hands-on experience, work experience, learning on the job experience with pay. It's a great asset for the state of Maine. I'm now going to introduce Peter Diplock from the Bureau of Rehabilitation Services. Peter.
Thank you, John. Hi, everybody. My name is Peter Diplock, and I do work for the Maine Bureau of Rehab Services. Tell you a little bit about our bureau. We consist of 3 different divisions, the largest of which is the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation, and they work with people who have a variety of disabilities, including those that are physical or mental or cognitive in nature. And then there are 2 other divisions that work with more targeted populations, and that would be the Division of Deafness, Hard of Hearing and Late Deafened, and the Division for the Blind and Visually Impaired. However, our bureau as a whole, our mission is to assist job seekers and employers to address and overcome disability-related barriers to employment, and include helping persons with disabilities to obtain employment, to maintain employment, or to advance in employment. Incidentally, we're the largest bureau within the Department of Labor, and on any given day, we can be working with up to 5,000 job seekers statewide. Our work is performed by statewide by many, many well-qualified staff, and include over 65 vocational rehabilitation counselors. We also work with a number of service contractors and community rehab providers such as Maine Medical Center, Goodwill Industries, the Iris Network, Catholic Charities. All of those organizations help provide job development services and job coaching for our clients. We contract and work with certified American Sign Language interpreters. We work with CART and other language interpreter services. We work with medical service providers who offer occupational therapy, physical therapy, and mental health services, as well as long-term supports. We work with orientation and mobility instructors, with assistive technology instructors, and with vision rehab therapists. So we really have a large variety of services that we can help people to overcome barriers to employment. Additionally, we work with many different partners throughout the state, including the Department of Health and Human Services, Department of Education, Department of Corrections, clubhouses, all public high schools across the state, as well as all adult education programs throughout the state. So how do we assist apprentices? Well, if you have a disability that creates barriers to employment, and if you're interested in seeking an apprenticeship, you would apply for and be found eligible for our services, and then you would be assigned to work with a vocational rehabilitation counselor. Together, you and your counselor would work to determine the best employment pathway for you to pursue and determine what services, supports, and equipment you would need to enter and be successful in apprenticeship. Services the Bureau can provide are individualized and they're varied, so it means that your employment plan would be unique to your apprenticeship needs. It might include such assistance as assistance in developing and obtaining certain accommodations. We help with technology, with job development and job coaching, tuition fees, including tuition and books. We help with tools, equipment, clothing, footwear, transportation supports, childcare assistance, and many more. And so how do we help employers now who are sponsors of apprenticeship? Well, we work very closely with our job seekers and we're able to help identify potential applicants who've been screened to ensure that apprenticeship is an occupational goal that is a good fit and that they have the requisite skills and aptitude to perform the essential functions of the job. And that would be with or without an accommodation. Should an accommodation be needed, well, BRS can assist the employer and the apprentice throughout the accommodation process. We also provide support to the apprentice and the employer throughout the apprenticeship process and can work with the employer and with the employer's staff around disability education, assisting with current employees who may be encountering difficulties in performing their jobs due to disability-related issues, and identifying resources and supports that might benefit the employer, including monetary and tax incentives. So if you're interested in accessing our services, there's a couple of ways that you can do so. One is you can contact your local career center, and they will be able to help really put you in the right direction in terms of who to contact within the Bureau of Rehab Services. You also could go to the Maine Bureau of Rehabilitation Services website. At the website, you'll find that there's a directory of contact information for the 3 divisions and regional offices throughout the state, as well as an online application and referral information. So I will post that website at the end of the webinar as well. Thank you all for attending today, and thank you, Lark and Dan. I'm really looking forward to the information that you'll be sharing about your business today and about the apprenticeship that's available to folks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for talking more about the program and BRS. And it is such an important key to the success of all of these programs. We are working collaboratively as state agencies, as different parts of the Department of Labor to make sure that this program is successful and that people around the state of Maine can really have successful experiences and career pathways. I'm going to move on to introduce Lark Pitts and also Dan Quinion. They are from Paradigm Windows. Lark is the HR manager at Paradigm. Dan is their marketing coordinator. They have a really exciting presentation to share with us today. I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it. I'm looking forward to watching it. They've got several videos that take us inside the plant and show us what's happening right there on the ground. I'm going to turn it right over to Lark. Go right ahead, Lark.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you everybody for inviting Paradigm to be part of this and the Employer Spotlight for your second Employer Spotlight. We really appreciate it. So my name is Lark Pitts, and I am the HR and Safety Coordinator with Paradigm Windows. I've been with Paradigm for about 18 years, and I started out on the factory floor, as well as a lot of the people that you're going to see. Who we are a vinyl window manufacturer, and we are located right here in Portland, Maine. We do all custom windows. We are able to make about 560 windows per day, and that is always growing because Paradigm is growing. Our geographic footprint is the New England area, Mid-Atlantic, and the Midwest is what we cover at this point. But again, we're growing, and we're very proud of that fact. Again, everything that we do is custom. So the work that we do is very, very hands-on and labor intensive.
All right, so I think we're going to take you through Paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Fortitude, pride, perseverance. Paradigm windows and doors have been designed, manufactured, inspected, and serviced in Maine for more than a generation. Community is the heart of our business. We are your neighbors, your family, your friends. Here at Paradigm, we produce some of the highest quality windows made specifically to handle our diverse climate, and we do it right here in New England, a place we call home. As New Englanders, we stand behind our products, and each window and door we produce bears our Made in Maine seal of authenticity, with a signature of the local craftsperson who inspected it for you. Now more than ever, Paradigm helps keep you, your loved ones, and your neighbors protected against the elements through changing seasons and changing times. Paradigm, window solutions for life.
All right. So my name is Dan.
Yeah.
Quinn.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Go
You're
right
good.
ahead. I was just going to give the floor to you.
Oh, no problem.
Yes, please proceed.
My name is Dan Quinion, and I work in the marketing department here at Paradigm. Like Lark said, everything we do is custom, and everything that we do is housed under one roof in our 150,000 square foot facility in Portland. And that's everything from manufacturing to sales to marketing to customer service, management, and shipping. This provides a fruitful work environment that promotes innovation, diversity, and growth. Our products are custom fit to every customer's individual needs, designed with beauty and tested for strength and performance, making our products an optimal choice for the most diverse and rigorous of climates. Our products are backed by an industry-leading lifetime warranty, and unparalleled customer service and extended support.
I have a question for you, Dan. This is John. When you talk about making custom windows, does that mean that they're designed specifically for different companies? You're not actually selling the windows to a homeowner or to Home Depot or to a hardware store. Can you tell us how that setup works?
Correct. So we are a business model of we're under a distribution business model. So we sell to lumber yards and larger distribution markets that then sell to the contractor or to the architect or to the developer. So when we say custom, that means the end user or an architect or developer who is building a property, either residential or commercial, will come to us with a list of specifications that the project needs to meet. So that can be anything from performance to aesthetics, to appearance, to color. And then what we do is build a custom window solution. And that can be anywhere from 15 windows in a home to 2,000 windows in a multifamily large commercial property. And the windows are engineered and designed to meet those specifications. And those specifications are different for every project.
Really fascinating. Thank you, Dan. I think that gives us just a better picture of what you're doing in your company. I believe that we have another video that's about 4 minutes long.
We do.
Here at Paradigm, we're a custom window manufacturer, which means every window that comes in is designed by the architect, and it's up to us to make their dreams come to life.
At Paradigm, our mission is to create a quality product, to deliver to the customer a standard that they want to see. And we start that right out with the employees and really training the employees that quality is important, teaching them the safety practices, making sure that they understand all of the different requirements, which gives them a good foundation to build a career at Paradigm.
And it's all about bringing team members that would be willing to take on more responsibility, to really engage in the activities, because to build a good quality product, you gotta have team members who will be engaged and have pride in the product that they're building.
Paradigm's core values really focus around 4 main points. We focus around leadership, building strong team members, quality, and continuous improvement. Those have been the 4 really guiding principles that have built our business and kept us successful. Not only is it important to grow employees, but it's important to recognize leadership traits and what's important for a business to be able to grow and continue to improve. And our product and our people are certainly great examples of continuous improvement.
So someone that comes in as an entry-level employee, the growth potential is amazing. We'd love to grow from within. We look to for our employees to help us improve our processes and procedures. We like for our employees, to really have a good understanding of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how we're doing it. We grow from within anytime we can, whether it's a team leader, whether it's a supervisor, manager.
I started out as a temporary employee, and my first job was actually to corner clean frames.
The other couple of great things about working here is the tuition reimbursement. So if you are working here and you decide to take classes at USM or Adult Ed, there are ways that you can be reimbursed for what you're learning, as long as you can use it and apply it to your job or help you grow here, which I think is a nice perk if you didn't go to college.
As people grow, they support more for the business. We can support their families more. Great benefit package. I think Paradigm has a lot to offer in terms of someone that's looking to start a career or looking to learn something new. We certainly have a variety of things to offer employees coming in.
What I think makes Paradigm unique is employees that either need to start over their career. Would that be somebody who was born and raised in the United States? Would that be somebody who came to the United States? Paradigm is the company that would give these people an opportunity like myself to really apply themselves, set the goals, and they will find support within this organization.
Paradigm's future is very exciting. We are in a posture right now to be able to grow. Our product is a great product out there. Its quality is well known, And we're really looking to be able to take our company to the next level through our growth, which is going to offer another layer of opportunities for employees to grow as the companies grow.
Just a technical clarification. It appears that while the video was playing, I'm not sure that our deaf audience members were able to see our interpreter. And unfortunately, I have just apologized to our deaf audience members because I don't believe that they were having access to the interpreter while the movie was playing. But regardless.
So we do want to give time to allow folks to pin the interpreter if they need to rely on the interpreter during the showing of a video.
I'd like to ask our representatives from Paradigm, how many employees do you have working there?
We have, this is Lark, we have about 235 employees that work here. Approximately 130 of them are on the factory floor.
Wow, that is a big company.
And we're growing.
I believe that and it's marvelous that you're growing, and I believe that you have employees who are, that your workforce is incredibly diverse. Am I correct in that?
You are correct. We have 24 languages spoken out on the factory floor, and ASL is one of those languages. We've got people from all over the world with all different backgrounds. And in the videos to come, you're going to see and be able to hear a lot of those employees. So.
And Lark and Dan, I'm also curious, how many deaf employees do you have at the company currently?
We have 3. We have 3. All 3 of those gentlemen are working in the specialty shop because that is, that seems to be the best place for learning because you're facing your partner the entire time that you're working.
Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we believe we have another film, and we'll have the interpreter pinned during this film.
First, I'd like to get into what it is that we are looking for in employees. We're looking for people that want to be here. If you come into a manufacturing plant, it is a very unique atmosphere. People that come in here not expecting, sometimes are overwhelmed by it. But if you get a person in here that likes production, they walk in and they just go, I'm home, right? It's a very unique atmosphere that we have. What we're looking for, we are looking for people that want to work as a team because that is the only way that we get windows out this door. They move through the factory person to person. So it's all about the teamwork. We're looking for people that like a fast-paced environment because again, all of our work is custom and those windows, 560 windows a day, it is fast-paced. We're getting the windows out and to our customers. Hands-on work, again, everything is custom. So we don't have a big machine that you pop in vinyl and out pops a window, right? It's very hands-on work, very fast-paced. And then we're looking for people who are interested in the internal processes. How does this work? How do we get a window from one end of this factory to the other end of the factory and to the customer in such a short amount of time? A person that understands that is going to be able to go far at Paradigm. Detail oriented, always, with the warranty that Dan mentioned is definitely, we've got to have windows that go out of here and go out of here correctly. And then a background. a background in machinery or a background in construction, or even a background in fast food, because fast food is all about production and you only get one chance to get that burger right? So all of those things we're looking for in an employee. Dan, did you have anything that you wanted to add to that?
No, I think we can go ahead and just hear from some of the employees.
John?
Before you do that, I have a question.
Sure.
Vocational rehabilitation has worked collaboratively with different high school students. As you know, our vocational rehabilitation counselors work with transition age students. But just for the edification of our audience, how old does someone have to be before they can work at Paradigm?
You have to be 18.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really good for everyone to know who's here today. Dan, go ahead. Do you want to show the next film?
All right, yeah, let's hear from some of the employees.
My name is Yul Karsovsky, and I have been with Paradigm for almost 22 years.
My name is Christian Bukele. I'm from Congo Democratic. I've worked for Paradigm since 2014.
Hello, I'm Cameron King. For about almost 4 months now.
My name is Amalia. I'm a team leader at Hongline. I've been here, 2007, so it's 11 years.
My name is Elvis Todorov. I can say 5.5 years now.
My name is Jessica.
And Jess, how long have you worked here?
Like 8 or 9 months.
When I came home, my first job was a package. And then I worked for, I think, 2 or 3 years. And then my supervisor tried to give me another challenge to go to the sew machine. Mm-hmm. And after sew machine, I tried to learn different job. Mm-hmm. And then now I'm working to finally.
My current position is Director of Operations, and started as a temporary employee due to my lack of English language knowledge. And as I was learning business, learning language, I had opportunities to be promoted into team lead positions and later on into supervisory positions. Went back to school and really get myself familiar with manufacturing and gain great interest in manufacturing.
Mm-hmm. I started at Hongline right away.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I growing from Hongline, so from the bottom to the top. From the beginning, just like working on the line, and then start to be operator, and then start to be like go by criteria, step by step, learn more precision, and then start to be team leader.
I started on Periodor, and then I moved on the spinning wheel, the shipping spinning wheel. Then I went on the 5 series doing hardware. Then I went on the table hardware, on the 5 series table, doing what we do in the spec shop. Then I went to the glass line, doing the bevel on the glass, and doing those gas between the tempered glass, you know. Then I went to the hung line to do the bits and dropping glass. Then I ended up on the casing, and I'm stuck there.
And that's where you are?
That's why I'm.
I actually, in my previous life, before I moved to United States, it was in a Salesforce world. I have no experience in manufacturing world prior arriving to United States. I did have one other manufacturing experience here in United States. But no, I've never envisioned myself from a young age and from school age going into manufacturing, but I cannot see myself anywhere else today but in manufacturing.
I didn't have much knowledge and career, so because I just moved back from my country, and my first job is just random work at McDonald's, stuff like that. And then my first career in Paradigm is just, you know, it's my first one. Like long time.
I was at Nichols for 2 years. Was machine operator at Nichols for 2 years. Then they sent me to Saunders Electronics. For a year and a half, I was welder over there. Then after that, it wasn't very long term, you know, they sent me to packaging. I was doing boxes for lobsters before I ended up at Paradigm.
Before to come to Paradigm, I was working at a call center in Morocco. And then when I came here first time, I used to work at Baber Food, like a package in Baber Food. And then when my friends told me about Paradigm, say it's like the same thing, and then I can do it.
My communication skills, I think my training skills, because it's not easy to train people. Every person is different. I see a lot of people who are not able to train people because they don't have the patience to train people.
Sure.
I think I have it, and I train it for the last 3 years, probably more than 20 people there. The other skill, I think, is the attention to detail, which comes from the craft, from the craft work.
Very good.
Really good attention to detail.
So as my personal opinion, so I like to be moving and getting growing. So and yeah, just keep myself busy and just learning more.
Working in teamwork, that's one thing, and respecting, helping, supporting, and then all the stuff I like, and building as well. I like to build stuff with my hand, not just sitting down on the desk and just typing out with your fingers. I like that. I like just working out there, just working my arms. It helped me learn better for my mind.
I said earlier, it's a family, because I'm from in Africa. In Africa, the family is the most important. And then I found it here in Paradigm. Everybody who can come here, you will find the family here.
If someone want to work for building stuff or making stuff with your own hands, I would recommend working here for a good head start.
The main thing is the start pay is $16 an hour. Compared to other places, $16 an hour, the minimum wage is going to be 15, whatever they say. So Paradigm offer them $16 to start. I think $16 to start is not bad. That's why you should come here.
If you like a fast-paced environment and if you like to have fun at work, I have a lot of fun with the people that I work with. And a stable place to work, knowing that you'll have a job when you show up on Monday.
I love processes that are taking place in this environment, getting stick-on vinyl converted into window that's going to be servicing customers and homeowners for years to come, and having a joy to work with different employees from different parts of the world and seeing them grow with this company as well as I did. Having a leadership who is willing to invest in their employees and get them on the path of building a career, including learning different language, learning principles and practices that can be applied in the window manufacturing world, and getting excited what they can achieve in their future.
That's really fabulous to just listen directly to employees' experiences, a little bit about their personal journey arriving at Paradigm, their professional growth. I wonder if any of those employees that were interviewed, were any of them involved with the mentorship program in the past or currently?
Of that group of employees, no. No, they weren't. It was a lot of fun making that video and asking the questions and listening to the responses. It really was a lot of fun. Those guys are not involved in the apprenticeship program. That's not to say that they will not be, because a couple of those people are really up and coming. They're going to be our superstars. For our apprenticeship program, right now we are growing, as I said earlier, and that is growing the apprenticeship program as well. Right now we have a saw operator. That's one of our apprenticeships, and that is about, I think, about 254 hours that you're spending in instruction, and then 2,000 hours total. We also have a manufacturing technician that is learning manufacturing from one end to the other. Some of the other apprenticeship opportunities that we are looking at growing are our maintenance technician and then welding. I was talking with Yulka earlier, and that was another one that we're looking at. So how do we choose people for the apprenticeship program? If you're already working here, then we are looking for the up and comers. We want people that, again, want to be here, want to stay here, and really enjoy the world of manufacturing. And you just listened to a couple of those people that really do. If you're not already here, then you're going to go through the regular application process, and then we talk about apprenticeship as we're doing the interviews. So that is part of that.
And Lark,
Yes.
another question that I have. Let's suppose that I am working with a client as a VR counselor, and they're interested in the apprenticeship program. And I mentioned to them Paradigm. Would it be possible for that client to do a tour and to speak with somebody about the apprenticeship program right there on site?
Most definitely. When we receive an application or when we receive a resume, and as somebody a candidate that we're interested in, we'll give them a call. And usually the interview process starts with a tour of the factory. So we really like to see people, how they react to that environment. Like I said before, somebody that's coming into manufacturing, you can really see if that's something that they're going to take to or not. So we do the tour, and then we would sit down and do the interview.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add that 2 years ago, myself and some of my deaf colleagues who are also vocational rehabilitation counselors did a tour of Paradigm Windows. We had an interpreter. We went all over the floor, the production floor. I was inspired. I was inspired by what I saw. I was inspired by just the hands-on nature of the work, just seeing how your company runs, seeing the diversity. I had no idea really. I'd heard of Paradigm, but I had no idea what it looked like on the inside. And just to get that view and to get that informational tour about your company, about what you do, what you make, and your sense of just community within the company, I was very impressed. I have another question, Lark, about your company and what you offer for benefits, wages. Can you just talk a little bit about what you offer to employees?
Sure. As far as benefits go, we do offer, we've got a wide range of benefits. Health insurance, dental, life insurance that is paid for by the company, short-term disability as well. We also offer long-term disability, 401k. We have an optional life insurance, PTO, which is paid time off, EPL, which is employee paid leave, and tuition reimbursement. And last but not least is the product discount. And anybody that's worked here for a while, you know that they've got Paradigm Windows in their home.
Great. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Let me just give me a minute. I want to check my agenda. And make sure that our interpreter is pinned because I believe that we have a video coming up, correct?
We do.
Correct, yep. Yeah, Lark's going to walk us through the factory.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
We are starting right off at the hung line saw. This is called the zero scrap saw. And this is where the window starts. What you're seeing here is the operator. This is one of our apprenticeship positions. Tape measure in hand all the time. And this is another saw that's used. Again, you can see that there is a tape measure involved all the time when we're talking on the saws. There's a lot to learn there. Next is going to go to fabrication. We're fabricating for things like lock holes and weep holes. You don't want any leaks to cause damage inside the house. From fabrication, we are going to go to the welder. And this is called a 4-point welder, and it's actually welding all 4 corners of both the frame and the sash at the same time. Some of these machines are fascinating to watch. And what this one does is it is a fusion welder. So it's going to melt the vinyl, and then it's going to press it together. And that weld is actually as strong as the original vinyl is. From the welder, we go to corner cleaning. So you've got that fusion welding, and you've got the fusion welding. So you have slag that's left over from that weld. From the corner cleaner, you are going to the glass line. And the glass line is one of the most impressive machines that we have in the factory. It's actually grabbing that piece of glass and dropping it onto the table. And the first time I saw that, it was like, oh my goodness. But there is, it's like an air hockey table. So you've got air coming up through there, and you are not going to see that glass break. Once that glass is on the table and squared, it's going to go to the center table. And that center table is actually going to cut, and that's cut with a diamond blade. This optimizes our glass usage, so it's really cut down on waste. We get a lot more out of these pieces of glass because of this particular machine. And then you can see at the end of the table, the operator is actually taking and snapping that glass apart and then putting it in the appropriate lot and bin. From the glass cutting table, going to go to the next station, which is actually grinding the glass. So that's what they're doing there. It's called edge delete. And that is to help prevent any leaks. We want a nice tight seal. And then the operator is going to put that through the washer, because with our warranty, you've got to have that glass clean on the inside and the outside. That's part of the warranty. So what she's doing there is she's making sure that that piece of glass is right, that there are no defects, and then it goes to Ryko. And what Ryko is doing is he is putting on Duraseal. And the Duraseal is what actually is putting both of those pieces of glass together. From the Durasealer to the topper, so that's your second piece of glass. And then he's going to put it right into the oven. And that oven is going to not only heat it up, but it's also going to compress it. So when it comes to the other side, you've got one unit. You've got quality control. And again, you can see a tape measure is in her hand, making sure that that's right. Now we're seeing when the glass is actually dropped into the sash. This is the hung line, a very, very busy line. So they're dropping that glass into the sash, and then they're putting what we call bead. And the first time that I saw a hammer used on a window, my mouth hit the floor. So from that point, then you're going to go to final, and that's where Christian is. Christian is finaling that window. He's putting everything together. From the final, it goes to packaging. And you're looking at a window that has traveled from one end of the factory to the other. All material comes in at one end of the factory. It travels down through the factory, and then shipping is on the very other end of the factory. So you've just followed that window all the way through.
And then when it is all complete, this is what the finished product looks like.
Beautiful. Those windows are beautiful. Makes me want to buy some of your windows and put them in my home. It's definitely time for me to get some new windows. I can feel the draft coming through. Time to replace them with some Paradigm windows. I do have a question. When someone's assigned to a particular place on the production floor, do they also have opportunities to experience other parts of the production process and to learn other tasks, specialties?
Dan, you might have to answer this as we've lost Lark.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, most people end up starting out like on screens or in the spec shop. And then as they acquire new skills in each kind of department or part of the line, there are many opportunities to move to more of the complex jobs within the factory. So there's a lot of cross training by nature. The line moves very quickly. So we want people to know more than one thing. And as people see over time, normally that's pretty standard.
Excellent. I also see that on your schedule, from what I know of the company, that you have 2 shifts. Is that correct, Dan?
We do. We have just are getting ready to start the second shift. But yes, we are moving in that direction to have 2 shifts.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Excuse me, guys.
There are some. Oh yeah, John was just saying there are some questions in the chat, and one of the questions that came up is maybe you can talk a little bit about the prices, your rates.
So for windows, we don't quote internally for the homeowner, which is
I'm sorry, Dan.
Yeah.
I guess I mean for the employees in terms of pay and wages.
Okay. So we start at $16 an hour as of the beginning of 2021, and you go up from there. There is opportunity for peak pay and bonus pay, depending on production and the number of units that we're able to successfully get out the door. And that's kind of where it starts, and people work up from there. And as you acquire new skills, or new certifications, that pay is reflective.
Thank you. Another question.
Can I interrupt, please? I'm sorry.
Oh, yes.
There was a comment about somebody not being able to see the interpreter. I just want to check and see if indeed that folks can see the interpreter.
Right now, we can see you really big.
Okay, I'm seeing, this is John Post answering, I'm seeing the interpreter clearly.
Okay, Terry, can you see the interpreter?
Terry.
Can you respond in the chat box? Because Terry wrote that he said he couldn't see the interpreter, and then he said, can you go back to original settings when you started?
All right, give us a minute here. It does appear that Terry is not able to see the interpreter at around 2:04.
I have just pinned the interpreter.
It might be the wrong interpreter because the one I'm seeing is Maine Department really big. You might need to change your view to
I
gallery.
believe one of the issues is that people who are viewing this would need to go onto gallery view, and that may be a fix.
And Terry writes he can see you now.
Excellent. Excellent.
Dan, this is Lark. Will you let me back in, please?
You're in.
Not the video.
Lark, we see your name.
Have to make her co-host.
Sorry, guys. Technology is wonderful until it's not.
Exactly.
Yes, so true.
Sam, were you able to make Lark a co-host?
I had to move the host over to Dan, so Dan has to.
Okay.
Okay. I cannot modify the host.
I think all you need
Send it
It says they're blocked by admin.
Send it back to me, Dan.
It won't let me. It doesn't give me the option to.
Can you make her a co-host?
I don't have host control.
Okay. Well, Lark, we can hear you, that's for sure. So if you don't mind, why don't we just continue? And
Sure. So I wanted to go over the current opportunities that we have here at Paradigm. We have positions open on second shift, a maintenance tech position, material handler, and then we have four more positions on our glass line that are open. Also picture window line, which is a heavier content line. Those are all on second shift. And then we've got production positions that are still open on first shift. At Paradigm, I know that John has already spoken some on this, but diversity is huge at Paradigm. We have 23 spoken languages. Inclusion and acclimation is what we are all about. It's the way that we work. It's the way that we survive at Paradigm. Respect and communication. Training and onboarding, we have mentorships and a training program that is growing as we grow. Operational method sheets are a part of the training. Dan just said my camera should work now, and it did. Uh-oh, here I am. So we have operational method sheets that help with the training process. Because our company is so diverse training sometimes is hard because we all speak different languages. Operational method sheets show you how to do a job in picture form, which makes it a lot easier. Job hazard analysis sheets are also something that we use that has pictures on them to help people be safe. And on those job hazard analysis sheets are personal protective equipment that somebody might need for that. Our policies are also, we're moving to having policies in multiple languages because we do have such a large, diverse workforce. We do encourage people to continue their education. That is one of the benefits of working at Paradigm. And it also helps people to grow because most of our paperwork is in English. So people that are going to continue to grow really do need to continue to have that education. And it just opens up all kinds of opportunities. We have a vigorous safety program, risk assessment, job hazard analysis sheets, as I've already mentioned. We've got root cause analysis that we use. Training, and more training. Accountability is a big deal as well. We all have to take personal responsibility and make sure that we are keeping ourselves safe as well as keeping others safe. And I've already mentioned the PPE as well. Accommodations. ASL, the spec shop, as I mentioned earlier, is probably the best setup that we have for training because you are facing, it's one-on-one there, and it makes it a lot easier to learn that way. We've already gone over the benefits and then opportunities for growth. You know, at Paradigm, people can go wherever they want to go. As Dan mentioned earlier, when you walk into a manufacturing plant, you're not just walking into making widgets. There are people that are in HR, that are in leadership, that are in marketing, IT, research and development, customer service. You've got this whole gamut of career opportunities housed within this one building. And Paradigm has proven that you can go wherever you want to. You start on the screen department 22 years ago and be the director of operations today. So it is an exciting place to work, and it's a nice place to work if you want to build a career. And I missed some of it. Did we already go through base odds?
No, not yet.
Okay, sorry.
Should we roll the next video?
Please.
All right.
Sure.
October 2007, I started here as a line worker. I came here to US into August 2007, and that time when I came, I had two options, working or going to a school to learning English as a second language. I started both of them. I went to the adult education afternoon, and I like it after finished that one, I started work as a second shift. After 3 years, I started to the day shift, and I work at the same place, but I started to learning different job. And I asked my team leader and my supervisor, is it possible I'm starting another job, training me another place? And they say, okay. I moved to the first shift after 3 years. I started to learn how to work with GED glass cutter machine. That's very, very complicated job because you work with computer, and that computer need a lot of information. That machine is cutting glass. Everything is automatic. Just need an operator to pick up the order, and also after finished cutting on the third table, we take a glass and then we put it on the cart. You need to make sure put every single piece of glass the right position on the cart, because anything wrong, it's going to be a stop the whole line. So that's very, very big responsibility. So my job over there is feeding other production line, so making glass for them. We have a paperwork which one coming out every day, and we set up the order on the GED glass cutter machine. And also the same time I have to manage those paperwork for grade machine. Be making grade for those glass, and also the other department is a screen. So all those three, it should be running the same time, go to the end of the line, which one go to the production line, and they needed to put it on the windows. So glass, grade, and the screen. And also I have to walk to the all production line to see what they're doing and what they need to make sure we're making the best quality and the highest quality. This place they give you good opportunity to learn, and it's a process. So people who like me, I want to tell them this place is a good place to start over your life, and you have a time to learning and doing your job, making money for your family, and support them.
Thank you. Lark, I wonder if there was more that you wanted to add to your presentation at this point in time?
Nope, I think I'm finished. I'm ready for questions.
There
If
are
anybody
some,
has them.
there are questions in the
Great.
question and answer box, John.
Yeah, wonderful. This is John. I do see some of the questions now. And one of the questions an individual is asking is, when folks are using power tools, is the company requiring ear protection, hearing protection?
Most definitely. We require hearing protection and eye protection for all areas as soon as you walk onto the factory floor. So our factory isn't loud enough all the way through for OSHA to require us to have hearing protection, but some parts of it are. So we say hearing protection for all.
I see. Does that include individuals who come to you as employees and they are already deaf or have some sort of hearing loss? Do you require it for them as well?
We do. We require hearing protection for everybody. And it seems sort of funny to say that, I suppose, but it is definitely something we have decided that managing our hearing protection program and keeping everybody safe means that we require everybody to wear hearing protection.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
I see a few more questions. Let me just scan down the Q&A box. Another individual talks about recycling your materials, and they ask, if someone turns in a broken window, do you ever recycle that? Is there a machine that helps you to use those discarded materials?
So we don't take a window that's already complete and sent out to the customer and it comes back and recycle. But if we have scrap within the process, if somebody cuts a piece of vinyl and makes it wrong, it does go into a bin and that is recycled. You saw the glass cutting machine that optimizes the glass, but there is still some waste. So that you might have seen that person throwing a piece of glass into a container. That container is then sent out for recycling. So yes, we do recycle. We recycle vinyl, we recycle glass, we recycle cardboard.
I see. Let's see, another question. Has to do about when your shifts actually start. So when would your first shift begin and end, and when would your second shift begin and end, and do you split shifts?
Recently, we have gone to a 10-hour day. So we are working 6 a.m. to 4:30 Monday through Thursday as a first shift. Our second shift, which we are ramping up now, so we do have openings on second shift. That shift starts on April 4th, and that is going to be from 4:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. And I'm sorry, I forgot the second part of the question.
Let me just double check. Oh yes, do you split shifts?
No. Not usually. There may be times we try to be as flexible as we can, but a production facility, as I talked about earlier, is all about teamwork, and it's about that window going from person to person to person to person throughout the facility. So having split shifts or having people starting at different times really makes it difficult for that to happen.
I see.
Not to say that that never would happen.
And I see. Yeah. Do you allow people to work part-time as well as full-time, or are you really looking for just full-time employees?
Again, that's hard. Managing a part-time schedule, and there are places within the factory that do not depend so much on the hand to hand that we can work in a part-time, but primarily we are looking for full-time positions. We do try to be flexible to a certain extent, but again, with production, that's really, really difficult.
Yes. Yes, I understand that. Let me move on to our next question. How are the final products shipped to their destinations?
We have a packager that's located at the end of each line. So those windows are wrapped right at the end of the line that they're produced on. And then they're taken to the shipping department. Throughout the day, we have people staging those windows, and then we have a limited second shift that are loading the trucks. From there, truck drivers will take those windows to the different areas. And Dan, if you want to jump in on this, if you have more information, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how it goes. Once they're loaded onto the trucks, they're brought to our comprehensive network of distributors, and they are offloaded, and they go right to the contractor to be installed into homes or into businesses.
Thank you. I'm not seeing any further questions in the Q&A box. Let me just make sure. Oh, do I see it? Let me make sure. Do you have any positions available for drivers, for example, truck drivers?
We do not at this time. As a matter of fact, in order for our company to grow like we're wanting to grow, logistically being in Maine is difficult. So we have historically employed a fleet of truck drivers, and we are now transitioning over to using a company for those truck drivers, and our truck drivers are being transitioned into this other company. It's going to give us really a way to move our windows easier. And it's also going to give our truck drivers a way to grow where they didn't. We are in the business of making windows. We're not in the business of shipping windows. So we really couldn't give the opportunities to a truck driver that this company that they're going to can give them.
Thank you. Those are all of the questions that I have in our Q&A box from our audience.
Does anybody on the panel?
I do have a question. This is John.
Please.
Within the apprenticeship program, does an apprentice go through the same process of onboarding that they would go through if they were simply to apply directly to your company?
Yes, it's going to start that way. A person will come in and they're part of our company. So they're an apprentice, but they're part of our company. So they need all of the onboarding, all of the safety, all of the policies, everything that we have here at Paradigm. So yeah, they go through the same onboarding.
I have a quick question. We don't have much more time. I believe we have just a couple more minutes.
Okay.
But Lark and Dan, can you remind us again where you're located? And can you just kind of maybe go through the application process real quickly? Just remind folks.
Sure. We are located at 56 Milliken Street in Portland, and that is 04103. Our application process, and Dan, I'm going to give this to you as far as the application itself, and then I can go through what happens after we receive it.
Sure. So the way it's set up is you can visit the Paradigm website at paradigmwindows.com/apply and fill out the form there, and somebody from HR will reach out to you. I did just put that link in the chat for all of you.
Nice. Nice. And once we receive your application, we're going to go through that, or your resume. We're going to give you a call and ask you to come to the site. We do follow all COVID protocols. So we ask that anybody that comes, we do stop them outside the door and ask them the questions that need to be asked. They come in, they take their temperature as long as they have a mask on, and then we'll take a tour of the factory. And we will sit down and we will talk about what Paradigm has to offer. And then we will talk about what you as a candidate has to offer.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I just want to thank our visitors. I want to thank our panel, especially Lark and Dan. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us such an excellent presentation about Paradigm Windows. Thank you to our Maine Department of Labor partners. Thank you to our whole team for putting this together. Anyone in our audience, if you are interested, if you want more information about Paradigm Windows, about opportunities for employment, about opportunities within the apprenticeship program, please reach out to us. Reach out to vocational rehabilitation, reach out to the apprenticeship program and Eileen, reach out to the Maine DOL, Susan Leclerc's branch. Please just reach out with all of your questions. Thank you for your time. We hope that you've enjoyed this. We hope that you've benefited from this informational webinar today. And please keep in mind that Paradigm Windows is adding a second shift. So please take advantage of that. As you heard it here today, hot off the press.
Hot off the
Thank you
presses.
all for being here and for attending today. Thank you to our interpreting team. Thank you to everyone for being here today. Thank you also to Sam behind the scenes running our webinar, and to our cart provider as well.
And to you as well, Peter.
And thank you. Just thanks to the whole team. I appreciate all of you being here today. I appreciate our audience. Now get outside because it is beautiful out there. It's a beautiful spring day. Thank you all.
Awesome.
Good afternoon.